Welcome everyone to this short tutorial on creating a slope class. In this tutorial we are going to create our slope runner class, and then we'll use the the slope class in a practical way to look at ski slopes. So let's go ahead and if you don't have your slope class open, go ahead and open it up, and then I'm going to create a new file. And this one I'm going to name Ski Slope Runner. So I'm just going to say public class Ski Slope Runner, open curly brace, close curly brace, and this is going to be our main class for this project. So I'm going to write public static void main string open and close braces, args for arguments, close the parentheses, open and close curly braces. Again, it's a good idea to put both of them in at once so you don't forget one. So let's first of all, let's print out a message to the user. Let's just leave it, print out a message to the user. Okay, so then we're going to do system.out.println for line, and we'll say this program calculates a slope and we'll say please, let's make some short statements here, and then system.out.println please enter the values for x1, x2, y1, and y2. And we need to close the quotation marks. And close the parentheses and semicolon to end our statement. And then we need to allow the user to input the values for x1, x2, so we'll create a scanner class. So we'll type in scanner reader equals new scanner. And then of course we'll have to do an import statement to import the scanner class. So we'll say import java.util.scanner. And we'll come back down here, and I'm going to go ahead and save my file, and then you should put it in the same class as your slope class. And then we'll need to scan in each of the variables. So we'll say it's data from the user, and we'll say system.out.println enter value for x1, we'll say value of x1 colon, and then we need to do x1 is equal to reader dot next int, and then since next integer and next double do not have a carriage return as part of them, we'll need to type in reader dot next line. And this is a variable that exists in our main class, and so we need to instantiate those variables up at the top. So again, we can say int x1 y1 x2 y1 y2 semicolon, and this will reserve space for our variables. Okay, so now we need to do system.out.println enter value of x2, and x2 is equal to reader.nextInt and reader.nextLine. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these two, and then do the same for y1 and y2. So here we're going to say enter the value of y1, and we'll put this to y1 variable, and then here we're going to enter the value of y2, and we will enter the value of y2. Alright, so the next part then is we need to create an instance of the slope. So we'll say slope, and this will be our first run. So we'll say run1 is equal to new slope. And remember from our slope class that our constructor requires us that we pass in the x1, x2 values and y1, y2 values, and they need to be in the same order as the constructor. So I can look at my slope class. Here is my constructor, and x1 is first, then x2, then y1 and y2. So these need to be exactly the same, x1, x2, y1, y2 in the same order and in the same number. And then we will print out our result. So we'll say system.out.println, and we'll, on our object run1, we will calculate the slope and print it out. So let's go ahead and compile, make sure we did this correctly, and we did. No errors. Now I'm going to run it. It's going to ask me to put in the value of the first slope of x1, so I'll say 1, and then the value of x2 is going to be 100, and the value of y1 will be 60, and the value of y2 will be 25. And it's calculating us a slope of about 35%, but that's 0.35 with a bunch of trailing numbers. So that's not really usable the way we would like it. In order to rate our ski slopes, we are going to need that slope to be a percentage. So what we're going to do is go back to our slope class, and where we calculate slope and returning the slope. So here where we return the slope, we can add math.round, and it will give us a whole number, and then we want times 100 because we want a percentage. And now we can go ahead and go back to our main class and compile, and then run it again, and we'll go ahead and enter the same values. So x1 is 1, x2 is 100, y1 is 60, y2 is 25, and we have 35.0%. And that is all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial for our ski slope class, we are going to enter a rating method that will rate our ski slopes as green, blue, or black. See you next time.